Sylvie saw in Jacob's eyes how intensely he wanted to help the old king, a trait she deeply admired. Still, she wasn't going to be left behind, so Sylvie steeled herself and clenched a fist, holding it up to King Verdal. "We'll be back as quick as we can. I don't want you to have to worry about your wife and kids any longer than you have to," she said with determination. Jacob nodded strongly as Verdal smiled at them, touched by their sentiment and kindness. "Thank you again. I have no reward to offer you, but at the very least my eldest son can offer you some of our rations," he started to say. "There's no need for that. We just ate breakfast." Jacob chuckled. "Got anything else we need to know before we head out?" Verdal thought a moment before shaking his head. "All right then. You ready?" he asked, turning to Sylvie. She nodded strongly in response. "Great! We'll be headed out then. See you later, Reinhard. Take care of yourself while we're gone." Without waiting for the old king to give a parting, Jacob turned and practically ran out the door, making Sylvie jump with surprise before running after him. She turned back and waved at Verdal, calling, "See you soon!" as she chased after her young partner. Jacob and Sylvie ran back through the narrow hallways of the resting place of the Fernal Kiln, making it outside much faster than they made their way in. Just outside, they heard a sigh. Following the sound, they found the young son Verdal had spoken of, a young boy of no more than 7, with short, messy white hair and the same deep red eyes as his father. He sat on a chair near a small table on the porch of the wooden cabin, and he was wearing an eloquent green garb that featured symbols of the sun patterned across the entire thing, and pale yellow fur at the fringes, as well as an unbuttoned black cloak and brown leather gloves and boots. "Who are you?" he asked as the pair ran around the side of the castle toward the small wooden cottage. Jacob stepped up to introduce himself first, as he often did. "I'm Jacob Godley, and this is Sylvie Freya's daughter. We ended up here by accident, but we're hoping we can help your family light the kilns and bring spring to the land," he explained quickly, taking the young boy by surprise. "I was hoping we could take a look at the map your family used to get here." "It won't work," the kid said, looking dejected. "What do you mean?" Sylvie asked in surprise. "I mean it won't work. No matter what you try, we're all gonna die out here," he replied. Jacob and Sylvie were greatly taken aback by the boy's assertion. Not only had he already completely given up, but from the sound of things, he'd already resigned himself to sit and simply wait for death. The pair were shocked to say the least, unsure how someone so young seemed to have no hope at all. "Why do you say that?" Sylvie asked cautiously. "Because the frost of apathy has already won. The war was over centuries before we even got here," he said dejectedly. "But we can still light the kilns and end winter. Won't that—" Jacob started to reply, surprised when the boy cut him off mid-sentence.